Most success stories talk about someone making it to their dream job and raising the ranks as they enjoy long and successful careers. However, people usually have to go through adversity before making it to the top, and NBA players are no exception to that rule. Many players in the league face the possibility of not making it to a roster every year. While it may be something relatively easy to handle for the veterans, there are also young players dealing with those issues, and a little over a year ago, it looked like Markelle Fultz was about to be placed on that list. However, the point guard never gave up on himself, and now as his fourth season in the league gets going, his play has earned him a role as a starter, a contract extension, and a place he can call home. But how is it that someone that was looked at as a potential bust just 2 seasons ago has turned into a solid starter in the league? And what exactly are the things that have earned him a second chance? Let's take a look into it. Heading into the 2017 draft, Fultz had made a name for himself as one of the best prospects in his class. During his lone college season, he stood out by producing outstanding numbers as the offensive leader of a team that was lacking enough talent to make it to the NCAA tournament. Still, his play was good enough to earn him multiple awards. His style relied on athleticism and advanced scoring and playmaking instincts to create buckets, but he was also efficient as a shooter and versatile in other areas of his game. Because of the way he performed during the college season, his draft stock quickly raised, and he became the consensus #1 pick as the draft night got closer. So by the time the ceremony took place, there were no doubts about where he was about to go. The 76ers traded up in the draft and selected him with the first pick. The idea was to pair him with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons to form what could have been one of the most talented young cores on paper. But that dream wouldn't last long. During his first few games as a professional, Fultz drew the attention of the world for all the wrong reasons. His shot mechanics looked very different from his time in college, and it quickly became evident that his new shooting form was affecting his efficiency. So, before long, he was shut down until the team found a way to fix the issue. Eventually, he was allowed to play during the last few games of the season and was inserted into the starting lineup for a short period during the following season. However, the way the team handled the situation left a lot to be desired. During his hiatuses, there were multiple rumors about the nature of his injury, but neither he nor the team described exactly why he was dealing with those issues. Instead, the Sixers often released conflicting statements regarding Fultz's status. In the end, it became evident they lost the faith in him making a full comeback. So they decided to send him away and try to get as much as possible in return. As a result, the point guard was traded to the Orlando Magic during the 2019 trade deadline in exchange for Jonathan Simmons and a couple of future draft picks. The move was criticized at the moment, given the Sixers traded a former #1 pick for whom they gave considerable assets and received poor compensation in return. But even while the team should at least have looked for a better trade option, the truth is it wasn't clear whether Markelle would ever be capable of returning to his original form. Still, his new team decided to treat his condition as a serious issue and shut him down for the rest of the season as a result. The idea was to help him recover from his condition, which was diagnosed as thoracic outlet syndrome, and to eventually get him back to play along with the team. And while there were some doubts at first, Markelle eventually returned to the team before the start of the season. From that point on, the plan was to bring him along slowly, but after showing improvement in his play, he earned a spot in the starting lineup and never looked back. With a larger role, he was able to increase most of his averages to career highs. However, the most important number for him during last season was 72. That's the number of regular season games he played in after having only made 33 appearances during his first 2 seasons. That's important because of 2 things. First, it means he was healthy. The fact he played in 72 out of 73 games means his body is capable of going through a full season of NBA basketball without breaking down. And on the other hand, it means he's good enough to receive a large role from a playoff team. While the Magic didn't exactly have many starting caliber point guards before Fultz's arrival, the truth is that if he didn't play well, he wouldn't have received as many minutes as he did during his rookie season in Orlando. The fact he managed to stay on the court despite everything that happened in the past is proof of his talent and ability to impact the game. While he's not the same player he was in college yet, he's capable of making things better for his team. But the best part is that he might only be getting started. Before the start of the new season, the Magic decided to show their faith and commitment towards the point guard by offering him a contract extension that would keep him in Orlando through 2024. And as soon as the season got going, Fultz decided to show them that they had made the right decision. The young guard came out of the gates looking more aggressive, and his play helped the team start the season by winning its first 4 games. He increased his scoring in each of his first 3 games until putting a career-high 26 points against the Wizards. And though his scoring has cooled off a little since that game, he still found ways to impact the game positively. With Coach Clifford allowing him to have more control of the offense, Fultz's usage rate has increased during the first few weeks of the season. His experience from last year also has allowed him to have slightly better control of the ball, resulting in a lower turnover rate. But even though his command of the offense has increased, Markelle has looked at his best attacking the basket. So far, he's averaged 14 drives per game on 55% shooting from the field, numbers that rank in the top 15 in the league. His finishing near the basket remains arguably his best and most dangerous skill, and his strength and athleticism help him make excellent use out of it. He's also been leading the offense in the fourth quarter along with Nikola Vucevic. Both players have helped the Magic average 31 points during the final period of each game, which is tied with Milwaukee for first place in the league. Last but not least, there's his shooting. While Fultz hasn't been able to recover the form he showed at college, he's managed to take small steps in the right direction during the last couple of years. After putting up terrible numbers during his time with the Sixers, the point guard has managed to improve his shooting during his time with Orlando. And while his three-point and mid-range shot are still far from being reliable weapons, his free throw shooting has been excellent so far. Throughout 6 games, Markelle has averaged 89% shooting from the charity stripe, a number that shows he should be able to become a consistent shooter in the future. So even while shooting remains one of his weakest points, the Magic should be encouraged by his improvement. As long as he keeps practicing and building confidence, he should slowly start to make jumpers more often. But since the team won't be able to count on him to score from three-point range consistently, they should try to add a few players that can spread the floor. After all, Markelle is not the only player affecting the team's success in that area. In fact, Orlando ranks last in the league when it comes to three-pointers made. They're the only team averaging fewer than 10 made threes per game. And while a few players have been shooting well from deep, the team as a whole hasn't taken enough shots from long range, and that could put a limit to its offense. After all, teams will start taking notice of the Magic's weak exterior game to limit the effectiveness of its drives. In the case of Fultz, that was in evidence in the game that came immediately after he got his career high in scoring. And while he's capable of finding openings to get close to the basket and score in a variety of ways, his lack of a reliable jump shot and the team's unwillingness to shoot from long range could end up being costly. Of course, that's not to say the Magic won't be able to win games if they keep playing the same way, but even though their record would suggest they're one of the best teams in the East, the fact that only one of their wins has come against a quality team doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. So it would probably be better for them to look for alternatives to make the team better. Since Coach Clifford has already started empowering Fultz, it would make sense if the front office surrounded him and Vucevic with players that could help them thrive. But since there's no way of knowing whether that will be the case, the team's hopes may depend on Markelle and other young players like Jonathan Isaac taking a step forward. In the end, Fultz has been able to revive his career and start proving doubters wrong during his time in Orlando. He's managed to improve in the areas he was already good at while also working to recover the shooting form that made him an exceptional player. While it seems like there's still a long road ahead of him, the Magic have put their trust in him. They've allowed him to recover his health and confidence, and that has helped him become an effective player once again. And if he can keep making progress in the coming years, there's no reason to believe the team won't keep him around in the long term. But now, do you believe Markelle will be able to live up to his potential one day? Or will his health issues put a ceiling on this potential? Let us know in the comments. We hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you did, remember to like it and subscribe to our channel for more NBA content. We are Courtside.